You know, if we think something's normal, we'll do it all the time. If we think something's not normal, we think God is asking us to do things that are hard. Do you think God asks you to do anything hard? Seriously. Because if it's normal, my whole life since I knew Christ, I've always been called to do things I can't do. God's always asking me to do things I can't do. It's not like, oh, well, that's not my skill set. In Christ, it's not, I can't, it's I won't. Chronic paralysing fear of public speaking. And the Lord showed me preaching. I went into as a professional tennis coach with no training. The Lord showed me how to coach. He showed me biomechanics. No one mentored me in planting a church. I saw the Lord planting a church. You hear what I'm saying? I've never run or set up a law firm or anything. The Lord does it. Because He is our normal. Our eyes are on Him. The signs, the wonders, the miracle, the outpouring, the manifestation. That is normal Jesus. That's normal. If it's normal, it's yours. Don't wait for something to happen. Take it. Take it. I want to share some really, really cool things. You know, I'll just say, going through a list of things. I remember a few years back, I just went through, and I'd recommend you to do this. I'm doing it again. I went through the Gospels, and we're talking hours and hours and hours and hours a day. And I was, what is Jesus doing? How does He minister? How is He speaking? What is He saying? He's talking about the gospel of the kingdom. He's laying hands on the 3, on the 12, on the 70, on the 500. He's multiplying the fishes and the loaves. Lord, and I'm watching Him like this. Then Adam and I go to Indonesia, and we did door-to-door ministry. And what happened? There was a room full of Buddhists, and they came to hear the gospel. Actually, no, they came for something, and the pastor said, "Do you want to get saved?" And they went, "No, we're not interested in that." And so what we did, we shared a quick gospel message, like very quickly. Adam and I went round and prayed for all these people. Now, these guys, there was one guy coming on a wheelchair. Well, no, 2 or 3 came in on a wheelchair. And has anyone ever travelled to Indonesia? Right, okay. I'm just going to, just quickly, you don't want to crawl into an Indonesian toilet on your hands and knees. That's what I've got to say. So this guy was genuinely crippled because he had to crawl into the toilet on his hands and knees. And, anyway. And so what happened, we started praying for people. And all of a sudden, I remember Adam and I praying for these people, and I'm closing my eyes because I was very brave. And we weren't working in atmosphere, there was no worship, it was just raw faith. I remember closing my eyes, and I saw Jesus praying for the person. I saw Jesus. Because it's normal for Him. Did you know we started pulling cripples out of wheelchairs? They were pushing their wheelchairs home. That guy, deaf ears opening up, the whole room got saved. Because that's normal for Jesus. That's normal for Jesus. It's normal for you. Jesus lives in you. That's your normal. I'm going to show you some stuff that's going to blow your mind that's happening at the moment. And so this is how the Lord functions. It's simple. We had Jeff through. Now, I think a couple of weeks ago, we had the first set of meetings, and he came back. And last time he came back, he was exhausted, but we just kept training into something. He gets up the first night and he says, "Flaming boomerang, real. First time I visited Paul, Gateway here. Angels greeted me on the plane. Gold coins, flaming boomerang. It's real." He decrees it, and he says there's going to be brush fires within 10 hours. There's bushfire in the Adelaide Hills. I mean, it was God. It is God. It's still going on. It's still taking place. I mean, hello. And so what happens is the word is real. Some things are taking place at the moment. Adam was he was about to go to Canberra, but he was listening to a radio interview of a man in Canberra. He's holding meetings all around Australia. In Canberra, actually, his meetings are packed out. There's a spirit of revival there. And he's being interviewed on radio, and he's saying, "You know, I've travelled around Australia. I've been holding a lot of meetings." He said, I don't think it's going. He said something big is about to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen on the eastern seaboard. He said Adelaide at the moment has an open heaven. That's what he said. And then he actually mentioned the meetings that our 2 churches put together. He mentioned that, so people coming from all over. Word's getting out, guys. We've actually, we've got Jason Westerfield. I mean, and David Hogan. I mean, is that crazy? Is that crazy? That's crazy. Paul and I were chatting 18 months ago, and pretty much, obviously, we didn't realise we were talking desire, but it was the mind of the Lord because it's come to pass. And so I'd encourage you guys, there's a destiny door, walk through it. Don't go, oh, I'll come to that night. Guys, you could miss the night where the glory falls, seriously. Don't do it. Don't fit it between my MKR. I mean, that's not on at the moment, so that's easy to fit between MKR. So, I'll tell you what, that flaming boomerang is real. It was decreed by a prophet. It's real. It's real. It's real. We've just got to see it. You hear what I'm saying? Jesus sees it. Jesus decreed it. Remember, he came here to Gateway, decreed an earthquake, and it happened. Decrees a bushfire, it happens. He was in Italy recently, decreed an earthquake, it happened. And he says, flaming boomerang. Well, guess what? I'm going to report back a few days ago. No, it could be a week ago. A friend was telling me down south there was I believe someone knew about the flaming boomerang, possibly been at the Jeff Jansen meetings. I can't be clear on that yet. They're in a Lutheran school, and even in Christian schools, it's not easy to minister, guys. You say stuff, if a kid distorts it, your job's on the line. Spirit of the Lord comes upon this teacher, stands in front of the whole class, just started proclaiming the gospel. The Holy Ghost falls. Every single kid in their class got convicted of sin. They repented, and everyone received Christ. That's normal. Because Jesus did it. She wasn't fivefold ministry. Signs follow believers. Are you a believer? Or a church attender? And we're talking soul winning. You know, I mean, sometimes like when you're running church and doing ministry, it can keep you from doing the stuff sometimes. But I know a lot of ministries, they wouldn't have led that many people to Christ in their whole ministry. It's bang! Outpouring. Here's another interesting one you find more than interesting. Is it Maryland's Christian School? Was that what? Yeah. Maryland's Christian School. We need to pray for those guys, especially from Strathalbyn. What happened, I think, was it this week? Last week. There was a year 12 boy, and he bang, just hit the ground, and you know, people thought he fainted, and then people went over to him. He wasn't responding. We're talking not breathing. You know, when they check to see if the pupils, nothing's happening. We're talking gone, just dropped dead. And what happened was the principal who had been at the meetings, I believe he came to the Jeff Jansen meetings, and he's actually requested for us to pray for him, that there's an outpouring in his school. He came with his son and he received prayer. So he's praying for this young boy that's dead, and he's doing CPR. And a slight pulse came back, but nothing significant. Obviously, they radio through. The chopper comes, picks up the boy, the medics. They're trying to revive this kid. They take him to the Strathalbyn Hospital. And back at the school, obviously, like it's sudden. You don't know if it's an aneurysm or what. You just don't know. I mean, make the most of every moment. He's just like, bang, he's a healthy year 12 boy, and he's down on the ground. And the kids were a bit distressed back at the school, so they said, we got to pray for this guy. We got to pray for him. So a bunch of students got together, and they started commanding life to come back into this young man. He's in the hospital. He gets resurrected. This is normal. This is normal. Because Jesus did it. And so what happened, Darren rang him. He wanted to verify, and I respect that. He spoke to him, and this is what he said. He said that when he died, he went into darkness. Saying, here's the Lord. He went into darkness, and then he actually felt people praying for him, and the prayers pulled him out of the darkness back